coming at you with our first round 2 game. I'm pretty excited for it. It's been a bit of a layover since I did our last one, and we got a pretty good matchup here. Two guys who are both 0-1, but two very good players. Both easily could have been 1-0. It's going to be, and this is big time for both these guys. They kind of got tough matchups here now. They got to play each other. We got Sozin and Darryl M. Like I said, two guys who definitely could both be 1-0 right now, and not necessarily a must-win game for either of them, but putting yourself in an 0-2 hole, that's going to be rough. You're looking at having to win out your next 3 to even have a chance to get in. And right now, Sozin's got 37, so that's not bad. But Darryl, where's old Darryl at? Darryl only got 15, so you can see that kind of puts him in the bottom half. Sozin's in, it looks like he might be in the top half slightly, but a loss here by either, they would have to score. Like, I would say Darryl will have to get himself at least 70 points, put himself up to 85. Then if he wins out, gets to 385, that might be good to get in. And then Sozin's in a little bit better shape. I would say if he loses, yeah, he's probably have to get at least 45, which is doable. And if you can win, but you got to win the next 3 though if you go 0-2. So this is a big game for both these guys. And we're waiting on Sozin right now. He's AFK. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this whole game. Probably not. I got to be on my way pretty soon, but I'll leave the stream up. So this video is going to run a bit long, but I'll make sure I'll get the whole game. There just won't be any commentary for the latter part of it. So, let us... Let me mute this sound real quick. Check out the squads. Sozin. Sozin's got this little mini swarm with a patrol leader, gun, and engine upgrade. Do not believe he ran this his first game. I can't remember if I had his first game on stream or not. Man, Corn, did we do that one or not? I don't believe we did. So, this is a list I really like. Dash Rendar with the Corn Horn. You know, FCS with Corn is almost a must. And then R2-D2 push limit. I think that's a really great combo. I love that little loadout there. And then the ever-popular Dash, HLC Outrider. That's a pretty good pairing right there. Vulnerable to certain matchups, but kind of an advanced players list too, but something that I think Sozin can run well. I think we'll probably see him go with that. This is a decent squad too, but like I've said this before, I'm not really a fan of the unnamed ties without Howl Runner to boost. I just think you can go with something a little bit better for some filler. That's kind of a, I don't know, what would you call it, a vanilla squad, I guess, in that there's just nothing but unnamed pilots, and then he's just got a gunner and engine. Not to say it doesn't take skill to fly. I'm sure this is something that he's flown before. But I would guess he's probably going to go with his second squad. As for Darryl, oh yes, so Darryl, I played against this list that Darryl ran, like his little primer game before the tournament began, and he ran it pretty well against me. He basically got me stuck up along the edge. I was running I believe, I can't remember what I was running actually, but he runs it pretty well. He basically is going to look to just trap you in a corner. He's going to run Chirino and Oiken right next to each other and just try to get you hemmed in, so you're just constantly crashing into Oiken with whatever you're running. And the fact that he has Mara Jade on Oiken, which is a she gives a stress token to every enemy ship at range 1 to 2 that doesn't have one already. So it basically forces you to do green maneuvers. And, you know, as you well know, a lot of times green are your slow moves, so it's kind of hard to get out of there when he's got every enemy ship at range 1. It's just hard to get out of there when he's got Chirino right next to him, too. And the way I did is I got stuck up along the border of the map. So if Sozin's going against this list, it's going to be important that he doesn't trap himself in like I did. And then EI and Exposed Chirino is just so hard hitting. I like having someone else shoot before Chirino though. Like the list I'm running this tournament is I got Vesseray with VI, so he's in an HLC, so basically he just strips the shields, and then Chirino with that ability just comes in and is just the crit machine. But still, the Expose and EI, and I'm running the same thing with him too, so that's always a good loadout, I feel like. Then the second one is kind of a bit of a mishmash of stuff here. You got Garvin with R3A2, and then Lebo with sort of a bit of an outrider. He doesn't have the engine upgrade, but he's got the proton rockets to sort of cover for it. But again, those have to be fired from the front, so it's kind of a bit of a failsafe in case someone gets to range 1. I've never really seen, looks like Sozin's back, I've never really seen anyone really use that or use it to good effect. But he's got the recon and push the limit, and then he's got Lone Tala with concussion. Not sure how he feels about this list. I feel like he likes the second one better, but I'm sure he's played this one some as well too. So it looks like Sozin's back, so we should be seeing our squads here real soon. Of course, dialogue and movements. Come on, Sozin, let's get this show on the road. Just like a little self-promotion. Get the views up. Alright, looks like we're ready. They both go to 2. So... Ooh, so Darryl does go with his rebel list. I was wrong. But Sozin also goes with his... Whoops. I believe that's what I thought he would go with. I can't recall, but... Well, his other one was, yeah, the mini swarm. Okay. So we just got double dash... Or no. One guy's running Lebo. Darryl's got Lebo. So Lebo versus Dash, but again, the Outrider mirror match. So popular. And interesting move from the outset. The other game we were watching, we had one game on where it was another mirror match, Outrider versus Outrider, and they actually ended up getting within range 1 of each other, and so neither of them had a shot. But in that scenario, Darryl would be a little bit of a favorite because of that. So it's going to be kind of interesting if he tries to go for that on the first or second turn of shooting, and he can get those fat-ass proton rockets off on Dash and do some good damage there, where Dash doesn't even get a return shot. That'd be a huge attack in his favor. Yep, Proton Outrider. But Sozin is running, puts the limit on both of these guys. So maybe that was what, maybe Darryl was expecting Sozin to run that, and he was thinking his little R3A2 would give those guys some problems, which it certainly will. Basically, Sozin's going to have to make a decision about whether he's going to, I mean, I guess Garvin will move first, so if either one of these guys are outside of Garvin's arc, he can double action with no worries there. But if Garvin has a shot on either of these guys, there's going to be some concern as to, well, do I push the limit and not take an action next turn? Or do I save it so I can just take one more action next turn? So it's also going to be interesting to see who he decides to then go for first. Do you go for that taller right off the bat, try to kill it before it can get off its ordnance? Or do you go for Garvin? All you gotta do is do one extra point of damage. Do you go for Garvin and kill him so you don't have the R3A2 harassing you? Gotta think he's gonna go for one of them first. That Corn Horn is such a filthy loadout. I'm really interested to see how Sozin's gonna pair it with this. So Sozin takes initiative. Sozin with a 7 and an 8. Going against, what's Lebo, a 6, and then a 6 and a 4. Lebo's a 5 or a 6, I think. Five. So, initiative really won't matter other than asteroid placement then. But I think 2 keys for Sozin is don't let Darryl get those ordnances off. If you can manage that, you should be in good shape. The key to the game for Darryl, I think, got to take out Corrin. If it comes down, even if it comes down to Corrin and Lebo late game, I think Sozin would be fine with that. Because it'd probably be a wounded Lebo, and Corrin with that double tap and the FCS and R2 and then to push the limit, it's hard to kill one-on-one, even against a ship as good as the Outrider with the HLC. So I think you got to kill him first before he's able. And the longer he stays in the game, the more beneficial is it to him. The more hits he's taken, the more hits he's regenerating, the more hits for you that are essentially being useless. So Sozin goes big asteroid, dead center to start. Looks like Darryl's going to go just to the left and up of it. And Sozin's left, Darryl's right. So Darryl goes on Sozin's side. And neither of them are going for the debris fields. I mean, if you're Sozin, you got Dash, so you're not worried either way. Oh, now Darryl does pull one out. It's kind of... I'd like to know what other people would think about this matchup, because you want the debris to try to double stress these guys out along with Garvin. Put like 2 or 3 stresses on him, then you'd really have him in a bad way. But at the same time, I think I would go with the asteroids if it were me. I don't think with 2 maneuverable ships like this, you're going to see them making any mistakes in terms of running onto a roid. Asteroid fields are a little bit bigger. Guys willing to take a little more chances flying over those, but... So, they all kind of pack him in. Darryl's got 1 more to place. He's going to go for the debris again. He's thinking about it. Ooh. Gonna try to squeeze it in right there. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen though. He's either gonna have to take a smaller one or go somewhere else. Yeah. He's gonna get something else. I don't know if that'll fit though either. Nope, he gets it in there. Just calling set. So Darryl's placing all his first. It's a bit of an advantage for Sozin. I think ideally, I haven't really flown Corin, but I think ideally what you're looking for with him is you want to try to come in, and you're basically looking for your opponent to spend their defensive tokens, be it evades or focuses. In this game, it's just going to be focuses. And then, if they are gone, you're looking for that double tap. And then what you're basically doing is you're double tapping, and then you're just flying away with a green maneuver to clear your stress from push the limit and R2. Then you're going to do something like, if you feel like you're going to get shot from behind by Lebo, you're going to focus evade just to keep him alive, and then you're coming back again, doing the same thing, double tap, fly away region, and you're just doing that back and forth with Corin. Looking for good spots to get that double tap in. It's one of those ships who I looked at the start, thought he sucked, sort of like Jack or Wes Jansen, but then once you see experienced players play him to good effect, and you realize he's actually pretty damn good. You know Dash is going to be using those asteroids to his advantage in some effect or another, whether he decides to go around them or get right in and mix it up. Having the ability to move last with every ship and shoot first with every ship is quite the advantage for Sozin. So he's going to set up right there with Dash. And Corin is going to set up on the outside corner. Interesting. Alright, so here we go. Okay, went AFK for a bit. Looks like Sozin actually changed his setup up. So he puts Korin right in front of the asteroid field and Dash on the outside. So here we go with the start. And it's interesting, he puts the Tala behind Garvin. You'd think you'd kind of hang Garvin back so he can just get his R3 unit off and then take another green to potentially get another shot the next turn. And typically you also put your higher skill pilots in the rear to prevent bumping, but clearly he's ran this before. So he's going left. He must be anticipating Sozin going right, and Sozin using those asteroids to protect himself with Dash. So we got a little squad mishap here. I don't know what this is. Oh, and sure enough, he does switch. So that's what he was complaining about. So, good sportsmanship by Sozin letting him change that. I'm sure there's something I could do that keep people from messaging me. Maybe I'll just do that at the end. 946. I wonder if Dash will just boost barrel roll right here to try to get an opening shot on maybe the Tala from behind. That would be tough for Darryl. I think Darryl was hoping Sozin was going to go right and use those asteroids as a shield. I don't think he expected him to go straight like that. He's just going to boost. He's not going to push the limit, looks like. So this says set. So it looks like no shots for anyone then. Yep. So you're in a bit of a bad spot already to start here for Darryl. I think these guys have got to go right and try to get some shots on Korin. And ideally, you get the HLC, you get a fat one on Korin, take him out first turn if both these guys get hits. It'd be hard to do, but he can with those concussions. And concussion missile reads, spin your target and change a blank to a hit. So it's pretty ideal here, because basically the Tala is going to lock, fire it, and with 4 dice, normally you get 2 hits, 1 blank, 1 focus. So Garvin can pass his focus to the Tala, and then the blank gets turned to a hit. So a very good chance of getting 4 hits with it. And then with the HLC and Garvin's potential shot, you gotta look to kill Corrin. It's not gonna be easy, but I think that's what you gotta look to do, is get a kill shot on him right here, because he's just one of those guys who you just do not want hanging around. And if you're Sozin, that's a good opening start, but now I think that's the other reason why Darryl went this direction, because he wanted to ISO Corrin and go right at him. He didn't want to have to go at dash. And you want Corrin to take some hits, because he can regen and take him off dash, but you don't want him to take every hit. Ideally, you want him to take like 1 or 2 hits a turn, and then regen and keep that going. So what do you do now? Do you just do a 1 right bank and take your shots? Like focus evade and hope he lives? Or do you just go left and just hope that Dash and him can both get outside the arcs of these guys, expecting them to go right? Like you figure if Lebo goes a right 1 bank, if you just go way over here with Corrin, go like right here with Dash, pick off one of these guys, get a good shot with Dash, and then turn into him next turn. That way Lebo's way over here, he's got to get into the asteroids, and these guys are going to be sitting right here facing this way. So, interesting. He goes straight with the Tala. He goes 3 right bank with Lebo. Double focus, and he's doing a bank with Garvin. Kind of surprised at that move with the Tala. I guess he just wanted to get away from Dash. Lebo's going to push the limit lock. Man, it's going to be hard to get those proton rockets off. Not crazy about those moves, because I think with the maneuverability of Dash to boost barrel roll, it's just hard to get away from him. And I think obviously he was thinking that would clear and get right there, but even if Garv did make it to there, I think Dash was still going to be able to shoot at him. I think he should have either gone right or K-turned. Because now you're in a spot. Because Garv can 2 right turn next turn and potentially get shots, but the Tala has to K-turn to get some shots, and it won't be able to lock. And it's going to have to turn, then go green the next turn to lock, and then still live after that, when these guys are going to be shooting first to get off those concussions. And Sozin definitely knows that thing's carrying ordnance, and definitely wants to kill it before it gets any shots off. Yeah, it's a bit off, nothing too bad, really. Yeah, right there, I'd say. That's good. Dash, yep. And now you're in a bad way. Dash is going to focus lock someone. Wanting to put the hurt on whoever. Going for Garvin. Corin will bank. Is he going to have a shot on Garv? He's just going to focus evade. But he's still in a pretty good position. Obviously, you gotta take the shot at Lebo. Crit blank blank. Oh, you didn't want that, but you got your lock at least. And that's a dodge. That's what you need for Darryl. You wanted him to have to... Oh, he forgets the lock. Ooh. He forgets the fire control system. Oh, that's a critical error. Because now, by definition, tournament rules, the time has now passed. Maybe he didn't... I don't see why he wouldn't want the lock. But anyway. Gets 3 hits on dash. Takes him down to 2. Now, who do you go at if you're Lebo? Didn't Dash spend that focus? Yeah. Should be gone. He's gonna go at Corin, though. Man, I don't know if I agree with that. You gotta concentrate fire on Corin. Because any hit you get here... I mean, one of them's gonna be recharged next turn, no doubt. That focus should be gone on Dash. I would have gone at Dash 4 on 2 unmodified versus 4 on 3 with an evade focus. Gets 3 hits and a crit. So he gets 2. That was pretty good luck there that Sozin rolled 2 blanks, but I mean really, it's only 1 hit because R2 is going to recharge one of those. Maybe he's just thinking that Lebo's just going to continue along this path and be able to keep hitting Corin. And then these guys can come in, but I mean, Garv's in such a bad spot now. He's down to 2. He's going to be faced with another HLC shot next turn. Going 4 on 2, he's going to have to survive that. And you know Dash is probably just going to focus lock him again. And if you're the Tala, if you right 2 right turn, are you going to get a shot on Corin? Because you know Corin's either going straight or right bank. Maybe Sozin just didn't really care about the FCS because maybe he knows he's just going to go with these guys with Corin and then go for the double tap on them. So he decides rather quickly. And that lock should be gone too, actually. These guys are forgetting. My guess would be Corn's just going to blast ahead. Go for the double tap on that Tala, try to finish him off. Before he gets off his ordnance. Because I don't know if he's going to have a shot. He's going to be sitting, his arc will be right here going like so. I don't think he will. No sound. Test, test, test. No sound. Test, test, test. Huh. Yeah. He can't even lock anyway. So he's just going to focus. Levo's going too forward. Double focus. He's going to lock Garvin again, or Corin. Garv doing a 3 right bank, 3 right turn. Really, your big hope here with Garvin is that, yeah, you're gonna make Dash have to spend an action to boost her barrel roll. So that's big. And really, I don't know. I think that's kind of cheap to check for a lock there if you're Sozin. Really, he's just checking to make sure. I guess it's technically legal, but anyone in the grandma knows that Garvin's in range for a lock there. He's just making sure that Garvin's not out. He was just making sure he was in range 1. And he does lock. Technically legal, I guess, but I don't think that's kind of cheap. So now you're going to see either a boost or a barrel roll, obviously. Yeah. So you made him spend an action on the barrel roll, and you've got to focus, but it's going to be hard to survive that. Because if he gets 3 hits, you got to get 2 dodges. If he gets 4 hits, you're dead. If he gets 2 hits, you need 1 dodge. You're probably going to get at least 1 with that focus. Corn goes forward. Show. Yeah, focus evade. Saw that coming. So now he's back to 2-2. See, that's why I'm not a fan of that, because if he had shot at Dash with no focus, I guess his lock was on Corn. I guess that's why he went for it. Maybe he couldn't have locked Dash. So I guess I understand that. I guess that's why he went for Corn, actually. So I guess that makes a little more sense, but still, I might have just shot at Dash the first turn and then gone for Corn this time, because now it's going to be hard for Corn to do another green maneuver, because I think these guys are probably dead if he goes for the double tap anyway. So Corn has a lock on Lebo. Okay. I mean, by tournament definition, he missed the opportunity for that. So I think if you're Darryl and you wanted to be a dick, you could have said no. You did not call it. But I guess he's going to be a good sport and let him have it. I guess it doesn't matter anyway because he's not shooting at him, so whatever. But just saying. If it's me and I'm in a game, dude forgets, I don't know if I would let him have it back or not. So he goes for Corrin. He gets the kill, correct? He got 2 crits. Right? SES, yeah. You got him. That hurts. That hurts bad if you're Darryl. Didn't even... Not only did he not get a shot off, never even was able to use his... I mean, he should have just passed the focus to the Tala, just for the sake of in case Corrin double taps, and you could spend both of them, but I mean, he literally did not do a single thing that whole game so far. And now Dash gets a 3 hit on the Tala. Takes 2. Ooh. Only gets 3. Let's Sozin roll. So he does nothing. And that's what happens when you're going against a guy with 3. I mean, everyone who's played against Suntrafel knows this full well. When you're going against a guy who's got 3 agility, a focus, and evade, it's hard to take him down. You need to concentrate fire. Even with a heavy laser cannon, it's hard to take him down. And you're in a bad way now, because I mean, you could potentially just do a big old K-turn, make sure you get outside of Lebo's arc, have Dash finish the Tala, and now you're just playing 3-on-2. Your 100 points versus his 50-something. You might see that. I don't know. He might just do a 1 right bank and recover again. I'm not sure, but I think that's... Well, I guess he can't K-turn because he's stressed, so you'll probably just see a bank again. And Tala's got no shot, so... In a bad position here if you're Darryl. Lebo with the one right bank. Tall's going 4 forward, so he's not even going to try to get a shot. Because he knows that Dash is coming for him. And Corn is too, but... Well, he checks for a lock. I don't know why he'd do that. I figured he was just going to focus and try to survive one attack and make the other one try to finish him, but... Yeah, I'm not really sure why he'd lock there. He's got a shot, so you know he's just going to focus lock, and it's probably going to be all she wrote for the Tala. And yep, her corn goes straight. It's kind of surprising, but... Probably just going to focus evade again, I would think. And that'll probably do her. Well, that will do her. It doesn't even matter what the Tala rolls. So now, just in a very bad spot. I mean, even if you get a couple of hits on Corrin here, you can just run away and recharge, regroup, come back at you with both ships and just overwhelm you. Start double tapping you with his FCS. Well, 7 guys. Alright. I gotta go, guys. I guess I'll leave it running for y'all. Gonna end up with like a 9-hour video here because I'm going to work, but that's alright. So, I'm out, but enjoy the rest of the game. Peace.